That is when the girls wake up. Is it a school day? Then well, I mean, they wake up at 6 AM regardless, but yes, they are waking up, making sure they are getting up. Yes. So your day has some structure. How I fail to see how that translates to utter exhaustion. Such as, I think that's a little bit of an over exaggeration. And even if it were not, you only have the class schedule 5 days a week. You have 2 days per week where yes, you wake up still at the same time and go to bed at the same time, but aside from meals, the day is yours. So, is this to be mutiny then? He says with a half smile and a raised eyebrow. I think they're still a little sleep deprived. It's tumbling in the morning. Tumbling with Hodge in the morning, and the martial arts practice is in the afternoon. Yes, they join us, but the one that you follow for your actual training is Hodge. And out of character, that's something that we established from the beginning. Sorry, what was that? I had someone walking out. Yeah, yes, I know. And when you said that it wasn't too late, I started working on it, and I'm actually almost done.
Oh, goody, goody, more chaos. Are you recording, Mike?
Yay, chaos!
Gotcha. Say, well, if you wanted to start with someone else, I could have finished this, but that's all right. What kind of change? He raises an eyebrow. Says many studies have shown that physical activity first thing in the morning is key to a good wake up. Gets the blood flowing, drives the sleep from your system. I see. And so you wish a later wake up time. Not everything is centered on training.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. That's absolutely terrible because that first part of that scene was not captured. Somehow the device cap did not pick. Anyway, we'll continue. Please restate your last statement. I apologize for the interruption.
I'm sorry, I was multitasking and I forget the last thing I said.
Calisthenics is good for the blood flow, wipes the sleep out of the eyes, she says, and makes for grumpy or tired children or something.
But then Duro said something, right?
I believe so, but I don't remember what you said.
And so you wish a later wake-up time, then? A lessened schedule?
The schedule can stay. You have to understand that I don't think they want to be soldiers.
Alright, Duro's schedule is up. This is not any different than what I have had in mind the whole time when I write in-betweens. It was just a matter of getting it out of my head and onto a thread where other people can read it. It's based on many, many, many school schedules that I have worked within and helped create in some cases.
Notice the 6 to 9. Looks like Tessara's not the only one that has dinner by herself. It's okay. You guys are free after this game to sit down and hash out the schedule for everybody so that you guys all know what you're doing individually.
Yes, well, Duro took charge of the girls, so he made the daily schedule for them when he started educating them and bringing structure to their lives. So his schedule is set. He's really not going to flex from that, but everyone else is free to try to join them for meal times and such, and of course class times since they've all agreed to help teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was about to point out was Astra, Tessara, and Hodge's schedules kind of depend on what's going on with the girls because they're supposed to be helping teach.
Yeah. And honestly, the limited class time is, when it says class, that's, what people used to call book learning. The learning to read, the learning to write, the book-based sciences. Whereas the learning never stops, even in free time. A lot of the hands-on stuff can be guided during air quotes free time, which is how you can get away with only two 45-minute class times. Oh, if that makes sense. Did I lose everybody?
No.
No.
I just didn't want to step on anybody else if they had something to say.
Apparently we don't, so carry on.
Will you consider it, Master? Of course, I will wake up with you. Of course, I will continue the training that you've asked for. For all, be a hero like you. That's what it takes.
I hope you and the others understand that I have never been training you to be soldiers. The the exercises, the tumbling, even the martial arts is in order to teach you discipline, to take care of not just your mind but your physical body as well. And the martial art, while it does teach you discipline and a skill, will also be useful if you ever have need to defend yourself. Not even to fight as a soldier in defense of others, but simply to keep yourself alive.
And she nods. I believe they know that. Tired.
Aside from wake up and bedtime, and meals, I did not enforce any kind of schedule for you the first week we were on Origin.
And we appreciate that. Well, they do. Now that I'm Padawan, I don't expect it. I expect you to treat me like you treated your other Padawan. She smiles, almost cleverly, though, considering I wish to be a hero like you, I expect harsher, harder training.
I see. And yet your co-conspirators over here wish less.
She kind of looks down, blushes slightly. Only translating.
Well, ask them this. They know by now the daily schedule. If you are waking up an hour later and things are getting moved around, that means that there is an hour in the day that needs to be removed. What would they like to see go? And it cannot be anything important. We're not cutting out class time or physical education. So where would they like to see those cuts? That doesn't mean I'll do it, but I promise to consider it.
And she turns
But
and again faithfully translates what you say. And you can kind of understand. I mean, she's doing her best to sell the idea, despite the fact that the girls are whining that they don't, according to them, they have nothing else to give up, that everything in their life has been taken away. And sadly, they can't come up with anything. And
right.
Cheery will turn and report the disappointing news.
Well, then it seems my schedule is still the only one that we have available to use. So, on with it. Let's get ready for meditation. And then it's on to the cargo bay.
They grumble through their getting dressed and heading down, or heading to the area where you designated for them.
I think it's just right there in their area.
Okay. So you guys are meditating, and Chiri's come a long way. I mean, since you've left Origin, she's really put her heart into. The others have their children. This is the best answer I can give you, dude. They're children.
I think you'd be surprised at how into meditation children can get.
It can. I will give you that. The potential is there.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah. And I only give Duro this information solely so he can see the comparison between, not comparison, sorry, the contrast between the effort that Cheery is putting forward and those who are going through the paces for, just to appease, their taskmaster.
Anyway, all right. So
Anyway, sorry, I was giggling at your comment.
yeah, I figured you would, and I know every group of children is different. I'm not protesting how you are portraying things. I'm just letting you know I do have some actual real life experience in this
Oh,
regard.
I believe you. And when you offer children an opportunity to sit down while at school and run meditation, I can see them being excited to do that. But when you're dragging them out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, as a father, that's not always easy. Even when the task is get out of bed, we're going to Disney.
Fair enough. I will also point out that they have 9 hours to sleep, so I mean, it's not like they are getting shortchanged in that department. I would think at this point their bodies have adapted to that schedule, and it should not be a big deal getting up at 6.
Not just you're dealing with children.
You say that, but as somebody who gets up at 6 o'clock regularly to go to work, I've for years, we're talking 20, I still have not adapted. So I'd be real careful about that stuff.
Anyway, so we're gonna go through the rest of the day, doing the training and everything. And is there anything particular you four, Sarah, Astra, Hodge, Duro, want to do anytime throughout the day?
We are still in space, right?
You're still in the wormhole.
All right. How long have we been in space at this point?
You should be exiting the wormhole at any time.
So
Okay.
port is due in the next couple of days.
Possibly.
Well, then Duro will head to the bridge during the one of the free times and check on things.
Get up there, and the only person there is Handyman.
Handyman, what's the status?
Traveling. Want to coordinate this? Your free times are in the afternoon, correct?
Yeah, it looks like the first one is after lunch.
Yeah. Not screwing this up.
Yeah, I didn't feel it'd be good for him to leave in the middle of class, or he's gonna want to eat breakfast.
Okay. So I apologize. I stand corrected. So you get up there. Handyman is up there, and Astra is navigating. And he turns. Master Theltanus, welcome to the bridge.
Thank you, Handyman. What's the status?
We are still in the wormhole, though. Mate, we should be exiting in the next couple of days, maybe shorter.
I knew we were getting close.
And how are things going on with the crew?
Duro will lean in as if sharing a secret and say, I'm hearing some worrying rumors of malcontent among some of the smaller crew members.
Well, there's that. I'm hearing rumors from the Gungir. Missed maintenances and repair oversights. Hodge has been doing her best, but fortunately, the amount of time that you four have been spending training the children are also neglected.
Okay, out of character. I remember when you asked us to make the schedules, you said not to be too rigidly specific. That's why I put free time and not what everyone's supposed to do in the free time. While the while the girls are free to do whatever, when Duro is free, it means he can do things that he has responsibilities to do as an adult member of the crew.
Don't read too much into the statement. This is just me, the narrator, letting you know, Duro, in game, needs that need to be addressed.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying I left enough wiggle room that these things could be done without trying to plan the day minute by minute.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, Handyman says that, and he says, "Well, I do what maintenance work I can when I have the free time. Usually it's in the evening, but it does get done."
Then a port of call might be required.
I see. I suppose we can't access the outside of the ship while in transit.
Correct.
Well, Warkanals is our next stop. Does it have the requisite facilities?
It does. In fact, their facilities are impressive civilization out here.
I would imagine from my study of the ship systems that their facilities match the level of technology the ship is built with.
He sighs. I mean, the droid. And you can tell that it's artificial. He still sighs. I find that insulting.
My apologies. Am I mistaken? So out of character. My push to talk really hates me right now.
Okay, brother.
Am I mistaken that the Gungnir is an older vessel?
Let's just say the professor has made specific modifications to the gun gear off of the many.
I see. Well, regardless, we will be putting in at Warkanals, and I will ensure that the ship has the necessary overhaul while we are there.
I will be pulling the sentry droids that you and your friends have been training with. I want to make sure that they're up to par for guard duty, maintenance. I do not want alien technicians roaming the ship.
I completely understand. I wonder if we could arm the girls and have them act as guards. He says that with an obvious grin, like he's not serious.
Master Thaltanus, child soldiers are against the law in the Republic.
Yes, but there's the exciting part. We are not in Republic space.
You.
A keen observation, Master.
I am only kidding. The girls were complaining that they felt like they were soldiers in a boot camp. It's a joke on my part. No, the sentry droids should be adequate, and I will make sure the rest of the crew knows to keep an eye open as well.
Boot camp. Ah, my data files have access reference. It's a fitting comparison, especially the way Hodge yells at the girls during.
Yes, but it's a yell of love. She wants what's best for them, to teach them the physical and mental discipline that will carry them through the rest of their lives.
And she comments that my bedside manner is sour. Ah, 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 ah.
Yes. Well, we often don't like seeing a reflection of ourselves in others.
I didn't think that she was that attractive, but Then again, I am hard to compare with. Ha, ha, ha,
Oh yes, you are
ha.
the complete package, handyman.
Duly noted, Master Thaltana.
Right. Well, if there is nothing else pressing, I have a group of malcontents to return to.
I am sure you can handle the task, man. They're just children.
Oh yes, it's only 9 little girls. What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed.
Let me know if anything changes, status-wise, he will say as he leaves the bridge.
And are we training the Mistress Anaran to navigate?
I've seen her simulator results. I'm not sure we want her anywhere near the flight controls.
Ah, ah, ah,
Yes, yes,
ah.
yes. Hilarious. I'll see you later.
Have a good day.
Duro will give his little 2-finger salute and leave.
Hey, ladies, on the Gungnir, what are y'all doing?
What time is it?
It is, you are navigating. Time it is.
Okay.
That doesn't tell us what time it is.
It is the 1 o'clock hour.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ah, 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 ah.
Seriously?
I love that laugh.
Okay, I have a question about
Yes.
this ridiculous schedule thing. So when I was filling mine out, Duro had not yet had a chance to sort of say what we were teaching the girls. So I kind of put in like, this is what Tessara would want to teach them. But I also don't know if like Duro had in mind a more structured class, like Tessara teach this, Haj teach that, Astra teach that kind of thing. So if it's 1, the schedule says we're going to be going into classes with them, we would have been operating on a very consistent schedule from the time we left Origin until now.
Well,
So what is scheduled to be taught right now?
so hang on a second, because that is a really, really good and important question. The reason why I've asked you guys to start looking at this, and the reason why I'm bringing this stuff up in game, is so that Duro can come to you guys, sit down, have this conversation with you guys, referencing the conversation that he had with the girls, so he has reason to talk about this, and then you guys can together formulate what exactly everyone is doing, all on the same page, all in character, instead of it just being stuff that the out of character people are doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, but
Totes.
wouldn't this have been done
Which
a
is,
long time ago?
it would have, which is the reason, but unfortunately, you guys as players never did. However, because of the events that Duro has already gone through, now there's an open door to have the conversation in game instead of assuming it's been done. Do you understand my logic, what I'm trying to do here?
I understand the logic, but I'm a little, okay, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit frustrated because this would have been a discussion that we would have had already. and it's like it's like you can't show up to school. You can't show up to school and not know what your schedule is. And then 3 weeks into your schedule, the teachers sit down and decide what's being taught. It does
That's
not compute.
okay.
So,
So that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the story, yes, that's already been figured out. But out of game, you guys haven't figured it out. You guys have been on different pages. I mean, the mere fact that I have 4 schedules that while they're similar in some places, they're drastically different in others. And Duro's right. Duro's like, hey, I've been leading the way on their training, which is fine. So we're going to assume that there is a schedule in the game. But now you guys as players can sit down in character and have that conversation from a new perspective based off the girls saying, "Hey, we want you to look at changing our schedule."
okay, then question for Duro. I mean, what is it that you wanted us to teach them? And Astra brought up a thing that I wasn't aware of. She said she's not teaching; she's just a TA. So, to help us all out before we actually launch into play, can you give us a quick breakdown of what it was you would have assigned each of us to teach on or to TA for?
Duro is teaching them the same thing he taught Tassara. Keep in mind, on Lannis, there was no there was no contact with the Republic or the outside galaxy. It was essentially like living in a primitive tribe in the middle of the jungle. That's exactly what it was. But Duro educated her to where she would be able to function within galactic society. Teaching her the basics of the broad strokes of galactic history, the basics of, galactic economics and, where things are in the galaxy, so that she wasn't having to learn all this when she left the planet. Duro's kind of doing the same with the girls. He's teaching them, as I said before, the things that you would expect to be taught in school at this age: math, science, language skills, reading and writing, that kind of thing. Where you see it says class on the schedule, that's the typical school stuff. The meditation and the force based stuff can be done during class time if there's time, but but that depends on how quickly the girls grasp the as I call them STEM concepts that he's trying to teach. The A lot of the force based stuff can be done in quiet time or even free time if they're willing.
And that is something I do want to address with you guys. The idea that 8 of these girls have force powers like you guys is not practical. They can navigate, they can far see via navigation, but they can't move objects with their mind. They don't have those kinds of powers or those kind of access to the force abilities like you guys are talking about.
Right, and we quickly figured that out. I remember saying at the beginning that he wanted to teach them to control, the mental aspect of that power, up until it fades, if it does fade. So I remember being very purposeful in saying he is not teaching them telekinesis or any of the overt, flashy, physical Jedi powers until such a time as they decide at an age where they can decide that they want to be a Jedi, like Cheery. Now he'll be teaching her some of those abilities, but the other 8, he's teaching them meditation skills. He's teaching them how to control what they have and not trying to foster Jedi abilities.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that is put out to everybody.
Uh, with Astra saying that she held back, like decided she didn't want to teach and only wanted to be an assistant, she would have made that clear very early. Duro would not have
Astra
put the issue.
didn't
What?
make that decision.
What?
Yeah, Astra didn't make that decision. As far as I have known, because the player has not said anything about what people are supposed to be teaching. Astra is acting as a teaching assistant. And you have also cleared that if Astra is helping with teaching, that it's under Duro's strict guidance.
Okay, but that guidance can take the forms of here's what I wanted to cover today, please cover it. Because I know I said at the beginning, he's relying on Astra and Tassara and to some extent Hodge to teach the girls when he cannot be in the classroom. Say he has a shift navigating. Because these are 8 to 10 hour shifts when the adults are doing it. So, if he's navigating in the morning, say after breakfast, he's not available for the class times. So he would have a lesson plan laid out. Here's where we are. Here's what I want covered today. And it would be up to one of his TAs to cover that material. That is what assistants and substitutes do in our school system.
Okay, that makes sense to me, but I'm not the only one talking here. So does that jive with everybody else?
Now that it's been clarified, yes, it does.
So Astra does not have to teach a classroom by herself, the only adult in the room. And she does not have to make the curriculum or the lesson plans. That's all. But there are days when he is navigating that he cannot be in the classroom at class time, in which case another adult needs to be there to teach the material. And at this point, it is just the normal school stuff. I think Tassara, aside from Duro, not counting Duro, I think Tassara's kind of taken the lead on the spiritual side of things. So when she wants to approach the girls and what she wants to teach them, Duro would leave in her capable hands. But he would make it clear they are not Jedi and they are not to be trained as Jedi. They are simply to be trained how to control the abilities they already have so that they can live with them as best they can until they fade, assuming that they will at some point.
I'm cool with that. Okay, so assuming that we were given this curriculum and we've been teaching it, and we're sort of like now in this place where we've been doing it for several weeks. I think what Traveler was trying to get at is now we are likely sitting down having what could absolutely equate to a teachers meeting, like a staff meeting for teachers. Like, okay, where are we at? Who is struggling, who is not, what, suggestions, new information, etc. Is that what we're doing?
I think somebody walked in.
Possibly.
All right, sorry about that. I had people come through. Anyway, what was asked? I missed about half of it.
That's okay. I was saying, so now that we are all aware what we have been teaching, the general gist of it, etc., is what we are having now, basically a teachers meeting. Like, okay, let's sit down and have a discussion about how things are going with the girls. And so it's an opportunity for Duro to bring up to them what has been brought up to him by Cheery. Am I right?
More on the second, less on the first. I do get what Traveler was going for. I have said, I know I'm not crazy. I know I've said everything I just said about what is being taught, I've said already. I never sat down and made a daily schedule like Traveler asked us to do this past week. So I get that. And Traveler pointed out that he is agreeing that there would have been one. So we're just going to assume that this was what was happening. But now, since that never happened out of character, with the girls being dissatisfied, it gives Duro the motive to go to everyone else and say, okay, the girls don't think this is working. Is there a better schedule we can come up with? And then out of character, we all sit down as players, and in character, we sit down as characters and say, is there another way to do this? Is there a better daily schedule? And then we all have input on the daily schedule
Yeah,
instead
also
of it.
there's
Yeah.
also one other thing I want to point out as well. Don't forsake bridge duty. Having a character on the bridge is not a bad idea.
That is fair. I in the schedule I just made, yeah, it was a little late, but I was following the assignment given last week, which was make your own personal schedule. And since Duro has taken the lead in the girls' training, I wrote it for him and the girls. But when we sit down in and out of character to come up with everybody's schedule, well, then yes, on the adult side, a lot of that will include bridge duty.
Yep, I agree. We definitely need to, discuss all of that in character and then, I'm sorry, out of character, then in.
I agree.
I'm having the dang this time trying to find something. Who did I send the girls' metachlorine count to?
I don't know if you sent it to anybody, but you stated it in a game. Handyman gave it to Duro after he did his initial medical examination. Because I know he pointed out that the older they got, the less their midichlorian count was, that arranging them from strongest to weakest in the force was also arranging them youngest to oldest.
I do recall that conversation, yeah.
I recall the conversation, but for some reason I'm thinking it was in an in-between.
No, it was not. It was over a live gameplay.
Yeah, no, that particular list and ranking was in live gameplay.
Okay.
Okay, so just curious, where do we go from here?
That's up to you guys. What do y'all want to do?
Well, Duro, would it be a good time now that you've spoken to the girls and to Handyman to have a sort of, for lack of a better word, a staff meeting? Even if it's not only to just discuss the girls, but like, this is how long we have until we get to Worklands, however you pronounce it. I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. And what might like each of us to do while we're there, etc.
Well, like with the school schedule, since, as I pointed out, I did what was asked and only made Duro's personal schedule and the girls' schedule, um, I'm going to assume that there has been someone on the bridge navigating as much as possible. So while we are in hyperspace, there's always going to be one adult missing from any group meeting because somebody is on the bridge navigating. So Dura would probably want to have this meeting on Workinals when everybody can be there and not have to have this meeting twice, maybe 3 times.
Okay, so are we fast forwarding to Workinless?
We can do that.
I mean, that
Someone
seems
make
the
a plan.
sanest. I don't know how you guys feel.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, Duro, you are in the navigator chair as the ship is approaching your next port of call, and you get a shiver in the force that causes you to drop the ship out of hyperspace before you originally had intended.
Okay. So where are we exactly?
You're in the system, but you're on the outer edge of it.
All right. Well, especially if he has the heebie-jeebies, ahead slow, passive sensors only.
Okay. As you are moving through the outer system and closing in, it takes you a lot longer to get closer to the system. And everybody on the ship, you feel the shudder of the ship exiting hyperspace.
What time of the day is it, Mr. Schedule?
It is roughly about 11:30 at night on according to the ship's chronometer.
Oh, okay. Duro's pulling an all-nighter. The graveyard shift. So did anybody even wake up for the ship dropping out of hyperspace?
Oh, I'm waiting to see that.
Yeah, likely Tassara would have woken up from that because she's kind of a light sleeper. She'll message. I mean, I'm assuming that the comlinks operate on the ship, so she'll just comlink Duro and say, "Is everything okay?"
And he would just respond. You said text-based or a voice call?
And probably voice call.
Check. Okay, there you go.
Well, we've dropped out of hyperspace. We are in the Workinal system, but due to a disturbance in the force, I brought the ship into the outer edge of the system. It'll be several hours before we arrive at the planet itself.
Can you repeat that? My phone just did the most insane thing.
Where did I lose you?
His entire answer to Sarah's message.
Boo. All right. I just dropped the ship out of hyperspace. Due to a disturbance in the force, I brought us out at the very edge of the system. It will be several hours before we reach the planet itself.
Do you want me to join you on the bridge?
If you'd like, we're moving relatively slowly, passive sensors only. If there is danger here, I want to be the first one to get word of it, to know about them before they know about us.
I'm on my way. And she gets quickly dressed and heads to the bridge.
Okay. About I would say um a few moments after the comlink goes off, you hear the hatch actually no. Huh. You hear the hatch open up to the bridge and you turn and see Hodge walking on the bridge.
So the doors have been repaired. That's good.
Yes, the doors have been repaired.
Yes, the built ferrets were responsible for fixing the door.
Haj, did you feel it as well?
Well, unless Tassara teleported onto the bridge, she's not there yet.
My mistake. I thought we met in the hallway. I'm sorry.
No. While you were having that conversation with Duro, Hodge had headed to the bridge.
My apologies.
You dropped out of hyperspace. Are we there already?
Well, we're in the very edge of the system.
It's no reason to drop out. Why did you slow down?
I felt a disturbance in the force.
Lost you. Please say again.
Some whisper of premonition. We're running passive sensors. If there is something out here, I want to know about it before it knows about us.
It's disconcerting.
It's just a caution.
Fair enough. Want some company on the way in?
Sure, Tassara's on her way up. We'll make a party out of it.
I'll go get something for us to drink. And she'll head off and go down to the galley.
But as she's leaving, he'd call after her. Tea will be fine, though some of your specialty beverage from the op deck would not be amiss either.
Yes, dear. And she'll head out and go grab tea and juice and liquor from the ob deck.
Okay. Astra, what is your message? You put, does anyone else pick up anything?
Yeah, did anyone else feel anything odd when Duro did? Or was it just Duro?
You're sleeping long, and you're like having just a regular dream. You hear Quinn's voice calling out.
Oh, that's terrifying. Quinn?
There you are.
And Astra's immediately gonna try and break whatever the hell connection that is.
Okay. Give me a willpower.
Oh, great. One moment.
One moment.
The heck is there? It is. Why does this thing do that? Here we go. 25.
Okay. You're able to sever the connection, and you immediately wake up. Just at the same time, you feel the ship drop out of hyperspace.
And she is gonna take off in a dead sprint for the bridge.
Okay. As you head off to the bridge, and you are spinning and turning, and you see Hodge walking out of the bridge. You hear her kind of laughing. It doesn't seem like there's any sense of urgency or alarm, but Hodge, you see Astra turning, and she looks like she's actually. Give me a charisma check, please. -2.
Astra or Hodge?
Astra.
I mean, I'll flat out openly say she's panicked.
Okay, then you
But
don't need to roll. She looks panicked,
it's a
Hodge.
2 anyways.
She looks terrified and panicked. Hodge, you're up.
Sorry, I had the mic off. She'll run. Duro will hear her call out, Astra, Astra, and hear her take off up the hallway and she'll grab Astra by the shoulders and give her a little shake. Astra? What's wrong?
We need to get out of the system. Now.
What? Why?
Quinn.
Done. Come. And she'll grab her by the hand. And Duro, did you hear?
Did Duro hear? Is that still out in the hallway?
Yeah, it's in the hallway. No, Durrell did not hear.
He'll
Did he
hear
hear-
her hollering.
Yeah, you can hear Hodge hollering, but that's all you hear. And by now, Tassara is making it to the bridge.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where does she meet them?
You can hear
Well,
Hodge
okay.
screaming Duro's name.
Did I say screaming?
Tassara just turns around and walks the other way.
So Tassara starts running towards the sound,
Okay.
and she turns the corner and sees Hodge and Astra there.
Yep. At the
What's
entrance
the
to the
matter?
bridge.
What's the matter? What's going on?
Duro, we need to leave.
We need to get out of the system now.
Have we got fuel to the next port?
That would be a question for the captain, who is still on the bridge, and Traveler said you guys are still out in the hallway.
Well, they're re-entering the bridge.
What's this about fuel?
Do we have enough fuel to get us to the next port? We need to get out of this system.
Tessara is still standing around looking baffled because nobody actually answered her.
Why do we need to go to the next system?
Quinn, Master. I was asleep and he called out to me and it was him. I swear he's in the system.
That is possible. But I believe that last time he contacted you, he was in a completely different star system, was he not?
It wasn't him that contacted me last time, Master. The first time, I reached out to him, and I don't know how I did it.
Then what makes you think you didn't reach out to him this time?
Trust me, I didn't. When I reached out to him the last time, I was missing him. I do not want to see him again. I can't.
Duro,
Steve?
if she senses Quinn and we all sensed something, then is Quinn the Sith Queen?
Do you think the Sith Queen is in this system as well? Master and apprentice together.
Chances are pretty good, yes.
Dura will look at each of them. He's particularly looking to see if Astra has calmed herself at all.
Nope, she's like got her arms wrapped around her and she's like shaking.
Tessara goes over and puts her arm around Astra, just as a comforting presence.
Forgive me if I disagree. I don't think the Queen would be here. If she's gonna send Quinn, my guess is that you wouldn't want to put both of them together.
Very important question for the former lovebirds. Is he hunting you? Did he seem like he was searching for you, or was he surprised that you turned up?
No, he's looking for me.
Well, then I see no reason to leave.
What?
Think about it. What I'm hearing sounds like us letting fear rule our judgment. Quinn is looking for you. Wherever we go, he will be following. At some point, we must stand our ground and face him, like Jedi.
I can't fight him, Master.
And who says you need to? You have me. You have Tessara. You have Hodge.
Astra,
Yep.
you feel a soft hand on your shoulder.
And she'll look around confused.
You can see Saba and Ashante. And you have
I'm glad to see that you guys are okay.
So,
I still say this is a bad idea.
alright, say we run to the next system. I will add that Handyman has said that the Gugnir needs an overhaul, one that can only be done at a port facilities. Workinals is the largest and best one in the area. But say we run to the next system. What's to stop Quinn from sensing your presence there and sending his forces after us. And we feel him approach, and so we retreat to the next system, and the one after that, and the one after that. How far do we run from him before we decide enough is enough?
And
Before we decide
how much damage does he leave in his wake while he's looking for us?
precisely. This is a problem that must be dealt with. Better now than later, because eventually it will have to be dealt with. He's not going to stop unless we stop him. So we stay in this system. We continue to observe. We use the Force for knowledge and defense, and we let him come to us. And he would give Astra a pointed look and say, and we do not let fear rule our judgment.
And Tassara will quietly slip her hand into Astra's and squeeze very gently and say, and you're not doing it alone.
But you guys have no idea what he can do.
On the contrary, I have a very good idea of what he can do.
And I have an even better idea of what we can do.
He can reach into your mind like it's nothing, guys.
That's if he touches us.
He doesn't always have to touch you to do it, if I remember correctly.
Do the Jedi in this universe not teach mind shielding techniques?
Add a character, is that something Astra knows?
Yes. Called force defense. Whether you picked it up or not as a skill, that's a different story. But yes, it is taught.
Yes, Master. They do teach it.
As did my order. There are ways to shield one's mind from being probed, penetrated, or otherwise violated by another.
That would have been nice to know several months ago. That said, Ashanti also happens to have this little gift.
What?
Oh, didn't you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Hodge.
That ability to see into someone's mind?
How?
Ashanti has it as well.
I don't understand. How could Ashante have that gift?
Well, you learned it, didn't you? Perhaps she has it because you have it?
Yeah, not the way Quinn can. Quinn can reach into your mind and see full out memories. I might be able to pull an image, but that's it.
I don't know what Ashanti can or can't see, or how good she is at it, but I know she's got it.
Astral looked questioningly at Shantae.
It's He'll just smile looking back at you. The hologram has taught me much.
Look, Ashanti actually helped us all escape the Sith Queen's ship in the first place. If it is a tool for us to help each other, she should be involved.
Well, she's not dangerous like the professor thought, anyways. At least not to us.
You'll hear Ashante say, "Oh, it's a good comparison."
Wow.
I'd say we've got the skill set. You've got the skill set to rival anything that he would throw at us.
So we continue on to Warkenless. And
Sounds
in the
like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
sounds like according to what Duro said, if we don't, we may not keep flying.
Well, in the meantime, we can sort of practice these skills that we're going to need.
And she looks at Tassara. That means that we let Ashanti loose. Because she's gonna need the practice. And it means she may have access to our minds. Are you okay with that?
Ashanti's gonna lean over towards Astra. I've been there. The crusted, used.
I don't have anything to hide.
That's not what I asked.
Yes, I would be fine with it.
Duro?
I'll be honest, I'm not comfortable with the idea. Just because I have nothing to hide doesn't mean I want her wandering around in my mind.
I
That would
concur.
that would be a more interesting place to roam.
Still, we'll walk that ramp when we come to it. Until then, we continue to move slowly into the system, passive sensors, keeping a weather eye out for trouble.
Astra. Ask them if they'd like me to show myself.
Assuming what she is typing in text chat is all out loud, Dura will give her a look.
It is an outlaw.
Ah, I thought she might have been speaking to one of them.
I take no pleasure in the Helvet's company. If you'll excuse me, I'll go back to bed.
Well, but what of the drinks, the tea, the liquor, the party?
The very idea of you asking for liquor is amusing enough for me to want to stick around. And that would be the only reason. Should I bring an extra glass? The little hellion.
Of course.
I mean, you are welcome to, but I'm wondering if she would even be able to avail herself of it.
Oh, then that means I can dangle it under her nose. Show her what she can't have.
Remind me not to get on your bad side.
I'll
Out of
be
character, is everybody seeing what is being typed in the text chat by Fire by Astra?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be right back. And she'll step off to go on her original errand.
So just make sure I, the narrator, understand. Yes, you guys are giving permission for Ashante to.
That is what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I'm back.
Ashante will show herself next to Astra. Now, Tasara, Duro, Astra, you can feel her weaving the dark side or create image.
Ugh.
Ashanti?
Master.
It is best to see you this way instead of taking over Astro's body to do so.
She smiles. Astra and I have.
I can see that. Might come in handy. Was there something you wished to discuss with us?
Well, dude. Conversation. Up. She'll smile sideways, looking at Ash or to Zara. Sisterly. Felt it appropriate. Show off our.
Quite a family you're gathering to yourself. He'll smile at Astra.
Yep. Granted, she did destroy a bathroom on however the hell we say the name of that planet. When we figured it out.
The ugly bug. That's all.
Ashanti, I have a question. When Astra says Quinn showed up, you sensed it as well, right? How did that make you feel?
He's out there.
Well, that he was contacting Astra at all.
And she'll walk up to you, to Zara. Not like into your personal space, but towards you. She'll stop at a respectful distance and smile. Excited.
Why?
She'll turn to you.
Because she wants a rematch.
In a manner of speaking, you have your plaything, he says as Hodge walks into the bridge, just to catch that. Want mine?
Oh no, 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 not Quinn.
Tessara is looking at Astra in confusion.
Please tell me you aren't asserting any claim.
No, I just don't want. You do understand the complications of the situation, right? That's not actually a physical form.
Wouldn't be the first time he's made a mess on himself, I'm sure.
Help speak.
Hey, be nice to Hodge.
I see
Yes.
the Helvita has slipped her leash.
She has not. And you be nice.
You know, I don't think either of them are going to get along. Ever. Which is fine, as long as neither are trying to kill the other. As long as we can work together, they are free to have their personal differences.
Yes, but if they're sitting there antagonizing each other, it's gonna end in a fight.
Ashante will turn to Duro and put her hand on her chest. Kill her? Why would I waste the effort? She's a perfectly good server. She brought drinks.
Pity I forgot to bring you a glass.
She'll turn and smile. It's okay. I'm sure you weren't expecting.
I was.
Tessara is sort of grinning right now because she knows Haj can hold her own.
And she's gonna look at Duro. Or not Duro, sorry. She's gonna look at Hodge. Almost expecting something.
Hodge doesn't bother to engage. She walks in, she sets the tea, she hands a glass of juice to Tessara, she hands a glass of juice to Astra, she pours whiskey for Duro and for herself. She sits down on the bridge and puts her feet up on one of the opposite chairs, puts her feet up and just enjoys the view.
The moment you move to start passing out the drinks, she'll smile and turn her focus to the rest of the party. I believe that the Jedi is right. You can't run from your problems. You must confront them. No matter how complicated, angry they make. Channel it. Call upon it. Use it to destroy.
I can't.
No, you won't. There is a subtle difference, Astra. You are making a choice. You could. You very well have the power within you to destroy him, but you're choosing not to. I believe it's because you think there is the shred of the man you once knew somewhere inside that monster. Am I right?
Let's hope not.
No.
Then why will you not fight him? Just to be clear, she doesn't look angry. She doesn't look annoyed. She looks honestly curious.
Goodness.
I know why. You still love him. Despite everything, you still love him and you don't want to raise arms against him. Because if he dies, so will a part of you, no matter what he's done to you. Am I right? Tessara actually just goes over and gives her a hug because she can tell that Astra needs it.
Ashante is going to roll her eyes and head over to the table or the place where Hodge is.
The man I love is dead, but that monster still has his face.
Yep, he does. And if my suspicions are correct, the man with that face did some pretty bad things to you.
And Astra will kind of look away.
Tessara pulls away gently and looks over at Duro out of curiosity to see what he is doing or if she can tell what he might be thinking.
He is sipping his drink, just observing, staying out of it for now.
Then she turns back to Astra. You are choosing right now then to not join us in our fight against him. Am I right? Just want to find out for sure.
When I realized he was a monster, I still couldn't bring myself to raise my lightsaber to him. I don't know. I don't believe that I can.
All right. Well, she looks around the room. Then what's stated is stated. If you change your mind, then obviously we'd love to have you in this fight against him. But if you're not going to, there's nothing that any of us can do to make you not make that choice. So, having stated that, she looks around the room. So, all of us are in agreement that we are not going to feel the same. And I personally will be fighting a Quinn and anyone else with him.
I would prefer to. How does the Jedi say it? She says, looking over at Dur. Make love.
I'm sorry, what? And how do you plan to make that work, Ashante?
Tessara points at Ashante, and out of character, just before I continue, Ashante is holding the glass. Am I right?
Yes, because Hodge said she put it on the
Nope,
table and
nope.
poured it, but she didn't say she handed it to him. I had been paying attention to that.
Okay, my clarification question is Ashanti holding a material object?
She is.
So Tessara points at Ashante and goes, "That's how."
Besides, if he uses a sock and she, just hovers over him, it amounts to about the same thing.
Okay, that's enough. I think I might actually be sick, you guys.
She looks at it. Tessara looks at Ashanti. You're holding that glass. That's not an illusion. Have you found a way to enter our dimension as a actual embodied thing, person, being?
She sets the glass down for Hodge. Or sets the glass down next to Hodge. And turns to Duro. Do you mind taking part in a demonstration?
Out of character, I missed part of that. What was asked of Ashanti? What does she want to demonstrate?
She didn't specify. She just asked if you minded to be part of a demonstration.
I suppose.
And she'll walk clear across the bridge over to Sarah. Fear not. I mean you no. Just a demonstration. Master Thaltanas, your lightsaber, please. And she'll reach out, and you can feel her reaching out through the force, Duro, so you can resist this if you choose to. And she's calling your lightsaber to her hand through the force.
That would be quite a feat since it is in his quarters.
Oh, that would be quite a feat. I'm sorry. I thought you said you were carrying it again.
No, I made a point of saying he did not carry it. He only had it in Astra and Hodge's minds because it was a mental construct
Okay.
for his fighting of the programming. But he has not. He's been wearing the robes again, but he's not been carrying the lightsaber.
What? Then then allow me to correct that, because she would see you not carrying a light. And she'll go ahead and look to Astra and call Astra's lightsaber to her hand. Are you going to resist?
Yeah.
You're going to resist her? Or are you going to take part in her demonstration?
Take part in her demonstration. I want to see this.
So the problem I have here is that all of Astra's training would mean that she would resist that. I don't know that she would actually just let Ashante take her lightsaber.
You can choose to do nothing and let the lightsaber go. Or you can choose to resist.
She'll do nothing then.
Okay. So, Tassara and Duro, here's what you see. You see Astra's lightsaber whip from her belt, fly to Ashante's waiting hand. Watch it activate and swing towards Tassara's neck, stopping at a comfortable distance away.
Ashante!
Said it was a demonstration, and that I meant her no harm.
We don't point lightsabers at people!
Technically not pointed
Astra,
at her.
it's fine.
Tell that to Alangiri.
It's fine. It's fine.
And
Her demonstration was pretty on point, you guys.
And she'll deactivate it and hold it for you to take from her waiting hand. Tassara.
She takes it and hands it back to Astra.
Astra will immediately put her lightsaber back on her belt.
Well, Ashanti, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed. You've manifested into our world, and she turns over and looks over at Astra, makes me think she's not going back. Sorry, I didn't know where I cut off. She looks over at Astra and says, and I'm pretty sure that means Ashante is not going back. She's in our world now. She has made herself manifest.
I don't know. How long can you do this, Ashante? The first time she was only able to manifest for a few minutes.
Do not remember us having lunch.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, a few hours. It's been a while and a lot has happened. Give me a break.
You didn't lose your loved one. Watch your domain wither because of salt. You'll forgive me if I don't accept your own trials and tribulations. Excuse.
Your pet is mouthy, Astra. You should get it a muzzle.
She's not my pet, damn it.
Ah, the help speaks.
Quit calling her
So,
that.
okay, wait. So, Ashante, she looks at her directly. You can manifest this form for how many hours?
As long as I desire.
And all of your force powers are usable during this time. Is there anything that diminishes them?
Well,
Please
If
understand,
you-
I'm asking to clarify if you were in the middle of a battle, is there anything that would deplete you to the level of not being able to hold this manifestation anymore?
sever Astra's head from her body, and I will go.
That's not what I asked, but
No, but it's good
okay.
information to. But it's good information to have.
She'll turn back to Hodge, having ideas.
She'll just take a sip of her whiskey.
Astra will
So,
look at Hodge and Deshante and kind of pinch the bridge of her nose.
so you know the answer to this question or you do not?
I believe she answered you. Sever Astra's head from her body, and she goes away.
And if Astra's head has not been severed from her body?
And she'll turn
I think
and she'll turn and
I think
look
the
at.
better question is. I think the better question is, can we reattach it afterwards? And what happens?
And she'll turn to Hodge. As long as the head stays attached, there's really nothing you do.
All right, that answers my question. And she kind of shoots Hodge a look, not a harsh one, but like a little bit of a raised eyebrow. All right, then she turns back to Ashanti. Are you willing to work with us then?
That depends.
Of course it does. Depends on what.
I don't want to see Quinn dead. I would prefer to make his acquaintance over and over again.
Okay, so so your end goal in this is actually to get with Quinn and stay with Quinn?
And she'll turn to Sorry, Duro's about to talk.
No, go ahead. He's passively observing. If he sees she is turning to him, he'll listen.
Yeah, she'll turn to Duro. Is it not the Jedi way to find other methods, eliminating an opponent besides death? I figured my master. Sorry, go ahead.
Destruction is typically seen as the last result, and he will look thoughtfully down at his cup and add, and I'm sure there is at least one spare room on this ship that can be converted into a sex dungeon for you.
I figured my master would be proud of my idea.
As long as he is properly secured and will not escape to cause havoc on the ship.
Her master or her plaything? Or are they the same thing?
Oh, my master already has a plaything. Sorry, I'll restate. My master already has a plaything, looking at Hodge. Each to his own. Some like them old and warm. makes them more familiar?
Some like them. She gives Ashanti a scathing look. Broken.
I would never call you broken, he says with a smile. You're just used.
Oh, Lord.
Astra looks like she's gonna be sick.
On the contrary, I think Shanti and Quinn are perfect for each other.
Can't say as if I disagree right now. So she puts her hand on her hip. She looks at Ashante. So we know your motives. Thank you for admitting those openly.
Hutch sits back. You may be onto something. If we get the two of them together, maybe he'll leave Astra alone.
Unlikely.
Why? She can take your appearance. Gives him what
Because-
he wants, gives her what she wants.
Because I can't give him what Astra can. I'm sorry, were you not part of that meeting?
Oh, you mean there's something you can't do?
Of course not. There's many things I can't.
She
Yes,
can't
Quinn
see
wants
into the future and change visions like I can.
Quinn wants two things from Astra. He wants her ability as a seer, and he wants her womb for his offspring.
1 out of 2
Uh-huh.
ain't bad. Besides, Shanti can fake it. I hear she's really good at that.
She'll smile.
Tessara pinches the bridge of her nose.
Gives a whole new meaning to the swear Sith spawn.
We Sith are excellent at deceptions.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
you could only deceive for so long before he'll figure it out.
Sure about that. Then again, she'll turn and face Tessara. Who's to say that I'll be faking it?
No. I know you're an excellent actress in that regard. I totally believe you could fool him until it comes the time that he wants Astra's actual gift. That's what I meant.
I mean, seducing him's not exactly hard, anyways.
Good. I've heard her talents aren't that specialized. That
We'll
said,
leave the hard to Quinn.
She is, admittedly, an excellent liar. I don't see any problem with dropping her in front of him, dressed as Astra, and calling the whole thing a day.
Yeah, until he figures out the truth and tries to kill her.
Oh,
And
good luck
can't.
with that.
Oh, right.
And-
Good luck with that.
And can't! They'll spar until doomsday and one of them loses their head, and since it isn't going to be Ashanti, I don't see the downside. And I can't believe that just came out of my mouth.
Hey,
Tessara's
if-
actually grinning.
The
If-
only thing is, Quinn cannot kill Ashanti, and Ashanti will not kill Quinn, because then she loses her plaything.
Yeah, she'll get bored of it eventually. Win-win.
Oh, the question I have is, she has more than once referred to the dark side as a lover. Will the dark side mind if she cheats?
Something tells me that fidelity is not on their list of things that are very high to count upon.
Well, at least we seek power, she says, smiling at Hodge. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. So the two of them, if left alone, could just insult each other all day. I would prefer to get something done. So, Ashanti,
Yes.
if
It's
we
an
were
error.
would if we were to give you what you want, which is Quinn, and we left you with him and left, would Would it matter to you? Would you just want to stay with him?
It
The
doesn't.
real question is, how far would we get before you fade from his view?
It doesn't work that way. As my master was pointing out. I can distract him while you escape, but the moment you pass far enough away, and to be honest, I don't know that distance. It's something that Astra and I have never experimented with. But I'm sure you reach a certain point, my connection will fade and I'll turn back to my domain.
Or you'll disappear.
No.
Hmm.
Our experiments have proven that that's not.
What experiments?
Lunch, my dear. You not remember lunch?
Yeah, but we were never more than a few feet away from each other.
Which is why we've never really tested that. I believe we will be heading back to. Sorry, I believe I will be going back to my domain.
Well, I, for one, look forward to experimenting with that. How far can you extend this projection?
Let's
Well,
drop her in space and find out.
No, thank you.
no. If we land on a planet, whether it's work lands or not, that is a way to test this theory. It's just how much time do we actually have before Quinn finds us?
And do you want to let her loose on an unsuspecting society?
Better than letting an animal loose. I'm sure Master will keep you well caged.
That was
Honey,
mean.
I was thinking the same thing about you.
But I said it first.
Oh, for
No.
heaven's sakes.
You're late. If you remember something about slipping your leash.
I do remember. And yet here I stand. There you sit.
Tessara just kind of throws her arms up in the air and is like, really? It is 4:00 in the morning. Can we please, like, not verbally shred each other for the rest of the night? Like, ugh.
Yeah, as amusing as it is to see two ladies have a dick measuring contest, I feel there are better uses of our time.
Hodge whips around and looks at him. Well, since you're the only one with the actual equipment, why don't you join in the fun?
Oh my gosh, were you about to ask
I would like that.
us? That is not something I want.
I was given a very good piece of advice, and that was never stick it into crazy. So, sorry, Nancy.
All right, wait. Astra. Out of character, I love your giggling, but I did not hear what Duro said, and it sounded amusing as fuck.
That's worth repeating.
Yep. Oh.
I was given a very good piece of advice, and that's to never stick it into crazy. So, sorry, Nancy.
She walks over to him, leans over, and gives him the biggest kiss on the mouth. Oh, you just won all the points.
Anyway, Master, while we do this experiment, seeing how your pet has reservation, you can escort me through the experiment as we test my range. In the meantime, I had things I needed to discuss with you alone. That is, if your pet can behave herself without your presence.
I've been upgraded from help to pet. Has huzzah! Thank you, Ashanti. You're too kind, Ashanti.
Tassara makes
Actually,
a vomiting sound.
actually, the pet is beneath a servant.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm going back to bed. Y'all can
Anyway,
have a
yes.
conversation with Duro.
Oh, how the tongues will wag. But yes, I am available for discussion.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you in a couple of hours.
And good night to all of you. And she'll turn and then whip her head around. And to you, Hod. Or is it Hadaza? Or just, shall I call you Hasbin? She'll vanish.
She looks right at Astra. Do you remember the discussion earlier about testing my pride?
Yep.
Keep the Helvita on a leash. I'm not good yet. Good night.
I didn't know she was going to be a pain in the ass.
Yes, you did.
Should've-
But she can't be anything other than what she is. And I don't blame you.
I was hoping she'd play nice. I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to play nice. There's nothing in her that does, is, or ever will be fitting that description. And I don't hold that against you. Good night.
Good night.
And she'll go back to bed.
All right. Seems like a really good pausing point for that scene.
Yes.
Yep.
I have a short scene for Ava if you're still ready for it.
Short as in 9 minutes.
And she's not responding, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and call it here. That was a fun scene between Ashante and Hodge.
That was funny.
It was, and I was waiting and waiting for Duro to step in and rescue his girl.
Well,
Nope,
he didn't need to, because in my personal opinion, Hodge was doing just fine.
He won the night, though.
Yeah.
Don't stick your dick in crazy. Sorry, Ashanti. That was priceless.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
And for the record, there was no way, and Duro even confirmed it in the text chat by the fire. He's like, there was no extra glass. I was holding mine. So
I didn't say there was an extra glass. I heard you specify you handed Tassara her glass, her juice. You handed Astra her drink. And then you set the glasses on the table to fill them up, then sat down. That was all I heard. I heard nothing about giving Duro a glass. I didn't hear Duro getting a glass, just that you went and found a place to sit down, and that was the end of it.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, okay. And he only specifies he had the impression.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did say he was drinking it.
He did say it, but unfortunately when he did say it, and I was thinking about it because I had already written it in the text chat by the fire that was her action. And then Tassara had turned around and looked at him and he says, "Oh, I'm just sitting here drinking my drink." And which I believe he probably didn't read what I had typed.
I did not, because I have the voice chat open on my phone and the text chat open on my PC, which is still having those Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi was down when you posted that. I did not see it until after I had said he was drinking his drink.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, it's okay. And I did that solely to point out that she can pick things up.
Which I was trying to point out.
I know.
So did she actually pick the glass up, or did she make a projection of the glass like she did the first time she manifested?
No, she literally picked the glass up.
Yes, and then Duro apparently took it because he was still drinking it, and I am going to claim my agency over my lack of Wi-Fi.
That's fine. I mean, he could easily picked it up when she set it down to go do her air quote demonstration, which is fine. There's no problems with that.
Yeah, but he had already been drinking it before that, so
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to claim the agency of the NPC who stated, as a matter of fact, in the game, her action in conjunction with Hodge's neglectfulness of pointing out that she handed him the glass.
Wait, she never actually drank from the glass, did she?
No.
And when I did say I left myself open to the possibility of being wrong, but when I said I had the impression, it was because I thought Hodge had said
I
that
know.
she handed everyone their drinks.
I know. And it's honestly it's really not that big of a deal.
It is to me.
Now, sounds like a you problem, dude.
Oh, dude, really, you didn't have to use that.
I
Ah!
did. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to throw that on the table. Oh man, that was a fun game. I wanted to do a scene with Ava, but that's okay. We'll get her Saturday. I got a scene for Nova 2 planning, but I got to work with her first. Scene.
So, what exactly is the hair up Ashanti's ass with regards to Hodge? It is just Hadassah would be perfectly happy. Just let that whole thing lie. No, this one comes out swinging every time.
Did she?
Yes.
Did she come out swinging?
No.
When she materialized, what was the very first thing Hodge said? What was the first thing between the two characters was said?
I don't
That
know.
Ashante slipped her leash.
She did not say Ashante.
The Helvete.
Thank you.
Helvete. Nothing.
Yeah, it was Hodge that antagonized her first.
It's times like these that I miss playing in the same room
I know.
because I can absolutely see Lily, like, arms crossed, sitting on the couch with a scowl on her face, going, "Fine."
Oh no! See, I can see the fight scene. I can see Ashanti and Hodge just glaring at each other from across the room. That's one of those live scenes you really want to be in person for, man.
See, I was thinking about, I was trying to think about how I can answer to, or how I can do something for Tassara, because Tassara was asking, well, what can you do? What can you do? And I was like, how do I answer this question in an action that really, represents Ashante? And one of the things is, because I know Hodge loves her blades, I was going to have her pick one of her blades off of Hodge, which wasn't my first intention, because I know that would trigger an escalation of hostilities between Hodge and Ashante. That's why I chose the glass. Now,
Well, there's two things to keep in mind: is that A, Hadassah hasn't had a chance to replace her blades; she lost them in the storm, and B, she's in her freaking pajamas.
Like that would have stopped her?
Yeah, like that would stop you from carrying blades. You're a weapon master. Why would you not carry your weapons?
Again, hasn't had a chance to replace them. She was going to buy some in Worklands.
I mean, we have an armory. You could have easily replaced them with something from the armory.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
And
And-
actually, I will correct you. You didn't lose them in the storm. I said in the recording that Duro picked them up and waved them at the snake before using the force to drive it off.
Oh, damn. All right. Yeah, no, then that's player error. I thought the player thought those blades were gone.
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
Duro recovered them.
Yeah.
Aw.
Also,
Thank
not
you.
for nothing, Astra would have still been in her pajamas, and even though she rushed out of her quarters, she still had her lightsaber on her.
Yeah. And I gotta remember Duro doesn't carry his lightsaber.
It's a little confusing when you got one Jedi that doesn't carry and the other one that carries constantly.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I should not forget it, but damn, I always.
And then we're going to add to the complication in this mix that the one that's not a Jedi is going to carry the saber.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Though I will say that a short scuffle between Hodge and Ashante would have been entertaining as hell. I'm pretty sure would not have been allowed to continue. I'm sure Duro, being the White Knight, would have rushed in there to defend Hodge, and Tassara would have been mad at Ashante.
Oh no, we would just need a kiddie pool with either mud or oil.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Alrighty then.
It's got to be oil. Got to be baby oil, because that way there you got better clarity on everything.
Y'all have issues.
They've got a whole subscription.
Yeah, no shit.
I know, right?
Oh, there are people that pay. There are people that pay good money for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Absolutely. It was baby oil, or what was the other thing?
Mud.
God, no, not mud. Mud gets into god awful places, and just no.
Yeah, baby
Like oil doesn't?
Yeah, but it's a texture thing.
The baby oil.
I'm fine with the.
Ugh.
This is going in places I really shouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah. It is.
So,
Okay,
overall, though, what did you guys think of your scene with Ashante?
I actually really enjoyed it.
I find it really interesting. She must have. What did she, What we're not asking is what did she experience when she was with Quinn that made her want to go back and engage that scenario again? Can she actually get pregnant, carry a baby to term, or is it because she's a projection not? I mean, if she can carry the glass, can she not give him a child? Carrying the sperm inside her body, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it would be a fascinating experiment. Like, I really am not, I wasn't kidding. Like, leave her behind with him and call it a day.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Well, the key to any good experiment is observable results. We can't exactly just leave her behind and scamper, because then we don't see the results.
We do if she comes back to her own domain and she ends up pregnant, which means that we can watch the effect of the experiment.
And Ghost
That's
Baby
fair.
lives.
Yep.
Baby
I
Gouda!
had a feeling that this was how Ghost Baby became a thing, because that was too good of a freaking joke.
Baby Gouda!
I don't object. I'm totally fine with that.
Baby
But-
Gouda!
Who would be giving birth?
Ashanti,
Can she?
why not? She can pick up a glass. Why can't she squish a baby out?
I will be totally honest with you. What Ashante did was perfectly within the rules of the game. There was no skullfuckery going on. Shenanigans.
Yeah, a masterful application of move object. Yep.
Say again?
I said that was a masterful application of move object.
Her specialty.
Yeah, the glass was hovering there with the illusion of her holding it because she is incorporeal. Same with the lightsaber. Masterful application of move object. Which Duro would know because that is also his specialty.
Okay.
Well, no,
I
I'm
have
not
so many
kidding.
questions.
The two force skills that Duro has, the only two that he has all points that he can put in them are move object and farseeing.
Yes, but how did she perfect the illusion? That's something Duro may not know. I mean, he
The
would.
illusion, the physical manifestation outside of Astra's mind, sure, he does not fully understand. But he understands that it is an illusion, it is
Yep.
an incorporeal manifestation, and that her holding objects is move object.
Right.
How she does he may not understand how she does her illusion, but he does understand it is an illusion,
Yep.
that she is not actually holding things, it is move object.
Yep. And Duro is high enough level to understand that. And he's got high enough ranks in those. Do you have ranks in illusion?
No, not an illusion.
Okay, so do me a favor. Give me an intelligence check, and you can add half your Jedi lore into this roll. I want to see something.
All right, hang on a second. I
Yep.
was not logged to roll 20.
Okay, I can roll for you. Oh, look, you rolled a 1.
Ha ha ha. Looks like I might not have Wi-Fi. Let me do a test.
If you want to just roll a die, that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with you just rolling a dice.
Okay. I have a D20 around here somewhere.
But God, if it takes you longer to find a dice than to bring roll 20 up,
I rolled a 16 on my actual physical D20.
okay. So that's enough for Duro because of your levels, your general levels. Because of your general levels, it's enough for Duro to be able to deduce that it's an illusion. But here's some really important caveats that you need to understand. Okay, one, the finite control between the illusion and the glass, the fact that she reached there, grabbed it, that's control. Whipping that lightsaber and having that fluid motion like she's wielding it to Tasara's throat, that takes it to a whole new level. So Duro can appreciate the skill that he just witnessed. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Okay. Now, she's not a higher level than you. That's why you're getting this information. Yes, you understand what it is. You don't understand how she did it, but you definitely can appreciate the skill at what she demonstrated.
Right, makes sense.
Okay, if you have questions, feel free to ask questions.
Not at the moment. I also need to be getting to bed. I have work in the morning.
Oh, tomorrow will be day 2 of my 3-day weekend.
I
Yes,
do have
when
a question before Duro goes. So we only have a couple of days before Saturday. As players, we do need to sit down and knock out this schedule thing. So I don't know if we want to have that as a discussion on Discord or like as a separate channel. I can create a channel for us called schedule. Or if we want to try and get together on voice chat somewhere between now and Saturday night in order to hash that out.
Traveler said he wanted it to happen in character as well as out, so
Yeah, I would prefer this to be done in character. I don't mind you guys doing this as an in-between. I don't mind the in-between being woven into the past. That's fine. As long as it's sometime during the journey leaving Origin prior to today's game. I mean, prior to arriving at your current location. I do ask,
Orphan?
yeah, I do ask that you address 4 important areas. One, while you are going to be involved in the girls' training, this one, the final say will be Duro's. So please respect that. 2, remember there are duties on the ship that need to be done. While general housekeeping is nice, the ship needs to function, which means you need to be doing general maintenance. We need people on the flight deck, unless you want to leave it unmanned. There is an autopilot, not a good idea. 2, who's training who to do what. I like how Tassara set up Hodge to do training, but at the same time, don't burn yourselves out. Rigid schedules, and I understand that Duro has his perspectives on things. From a military perspective, running a rigid schedule like that, sure, you can get a lot done in a short period of time, but it also leads to fatigue.
Are you talking about us or the girls?
I'm talking about both.
The schedule I wrote was primarily for the girls and Duro personally. I did not write a schedule for everybody. And there is a lot of, air quotes, free time in that schedule. So the morning is pretty busy, but most of the afternoon is free for them to do as they please.
Right.
But there does have to be a sense of I'm blanking on the term I want.
Let me help you out. Of the players, you guys, you're filling up with 18 to I think the biggest one was 18 hours of activity. You're going to burn yourselves out, and I will be forced to hit you with fatigue penalties. Human body needs more than 8 hours of rest when you're, I'm not talking about sleep. I'm talking about just general, like, conscious awake time, not, doing crazy shit. That make sense?
Mhm.
The force will sustain me.
Uh-huh. Did you read the end of or did you read The Fate of the Jedi?
I have read, I think, the first 3 books, started the 4th, but those kind of got put on hold as I rushed through the Thrawn series.
Yeah. There is a point where even a Jedi will succumb to exhaustion. And it's not nearly as long as you think it is.
The force will sustain me.
So, but those are the parameters I'm looking for. So please keep that in mind.
I actually had kept that in mind. I will point once again to the ample amounts of free time in that schedule, and the fact that that schedule covers school days. There are 2 air quotes weekend days where there are no classes, and those times are replaced with just free time, which is
I think
also time Duro could use to do maintenance or other things.
I think he's yelling at me.
Ah, right.
I'm just gonna wave at Duro. Hi.
So what I'm hearing is if Trevor has his way, that the ideal schedule would be 2 or 3 hours of activity, the rest being rest. If not sleep, rest.
No, that's not what I was saying. But you've had a very busy week and not a whole lot of time off, so we'll give you a pass. Remember, you can sell your soul. Mouse is looking for people.
I have a job that I am happy with. Thank you very much.
Are you happy with it?
Yes, actually, much happier than I would be working for Herr Rat.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you were here, but Jess and I went to go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
You loved it, didn't you?
I liked it. It was pretty good.
I'm not surprised.
I'm assuming you've seen it.
I did. I saw it at the first available showing, the first available day.
And did you not like it?
I did not dislike it, but I cannot say I feel the need to rush out and see it again.
Well, I'm not gonna go see it again. That'd be stupid. I don't spend money like that, dude. But I enjoyed it.
It was all right. It was not bad. I did not dislike it. However, I did have some issues with it.
So,
But that might just be because I never watched WandaVision, so things were probably explained there that otherwise,
yeah, WandaVision was helped out a lot in explaining it. And I mean, I wasn't completely lost because I didn't see WandaVision, but in the car on the way home, Jess went and explained everything to me, and it helped. It helped some things make a little bit more sense, but without seeing it, I still enjoyed it. Now, if I say this statement, Duro, see, a girl can't do what a guy can do. Would you understand the scene I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
No
well,
spoilers.
yeah, no spoilers. I can't say anything more. It was my favorite scene was when that rang true. That a woman can't always replace a man.
You'll have to